So they finally have a warm day, and the bees are going crazy. They really are hurting for food. Excuse me. So I was going to rotate today, and I'm sure I should, but I hate to interrupt the first day they've had to go out and forage. So far, every hive I looked in, cat brood, larva, saw the queen in 2 of them. It's easy to see the queen this time of year, I don't know why. Never in the fall. But I opened up the reducer so they can move around. I got to go back and fill some more jars. I kept them, quote unquote, kind of fed by replacing their candy board as they ate them on top in our nutter board, which is, I'll show you. This is a nutter board. It's got a screen in there that I'm able to either bucket feed in the fall by adding another box and a lid, or the hive's lid, or in the winter it allows for a candy board. And the rule of thumb is kind of that if you see bees coming back in with pollen, that there's babies, so you can see the pollen on their legs. I think you can. This one's bringing in light colored pollen. Let's go down here. This hive down here, I don't know. It was massive and I should have taken it apart, but my mom was sick and I just didn't have a chance. But you can see the different colored pollen coming in here. They actually have 2 entrances because they built a hole there for some reason, and so I put another thing over it. They're up here hanging out, they're enjoying the sun. They're like, we had been stuck inside. This hive had actually starved to death, and I thought it was gone. And I pulled up a frame, and the queen and some of the workers were still moving. So it actually, this is the nutter board, it actually has another box on top that's empty, but I've got a jar of feed there, and I have a jar of feed here, and they got winter patties, and they got candy boards. And if this hive actually survives, I am going to pat myself on the back. Right now I'm not. Let's see. Anybody bringing in pollen? I mean, they just might have to replenish stores before that queen will start to lay, but she was there and she was moving, and they just ran out of food. I've got 3 days, or they've got 3 days to forage, and then it's going to start to rain, which keeps them inside. If it's a hard rain, if it's a soft rain, they'll go out because they have to and get more food. Let's go over here. And the dandelions are starting to come out. So, and I had some leftover cappings from when I uncap. I keep them, and I set that out as a treat, and they will clean that up. And it's more, I don't necessarily think they take that food back. It's just more to feed them. I've got 5 hives that are going to leave the farm, but people want full hives, and that's going to happen possibly tonight and Monday and Tuesday. I got to get them gone before I need to split, because the people that are buying them want to split them. So it's like getting 2 hives for 1, and that's okay, because I have so many hives that I'm only one person. There's a lot of pollen coming in here. Oh, she had red on her legs. Look, red pollen. Can you see it? I think. Someplace oh look, they're bringing out the paper from the winter patty. They're cleaning up. Oops, I messed up. I took their sun away. See, they've got paper there. The cleaner uppers are taking the paper out of their hives. There she goes. Oh, they're pulling. Sometimes I help them just because it's such a struggle. I hate for them to have to struggle. But they really do like to fly away, take it out, because that's their job. There's the cleanup crew. This one here, let's open this up to give them a little bit more space to go in and out. Here you go, girls. This one is a hive that is going to leave the farm. It's doing really well. And I believe this hive over here is going to leave the farm. I actually had it duct taped up because when I move them, I am anal. I tape up all the boxes just because even if the ratchet or the lashing strap on, I'll take the feeder off. The front entrance becomes a piece of folded screen. I do it at dusk when all the foragers are back in. I come out, put that screen in. Scott has either the tractor to lift this, or if it's light enough, we can lift it together and either put it on a tractor if it's heavy or put it in the hauler, my side-by-side, and take it down front. And then the people come and we help them lift it onto their truck. And I say, bye, bees. Do good. So that one at that end, this one here, and these are the ones I've looked at so far. The one on the far, well, it would be my right, is ready to go. The second one over was a late swarm, and it's in 2 double deeps, which I rarely do, but it's the only boxes I had at the time. And there's all sorts of new larvae. And then, I love this, they have a back entrance. They love their back entrances. The box had kind of come away a little bit, and they figure it out. And here's another one. They figure it out. Then in the fall, if they're getting robbed, and I shut the whole front down because the robbers are going in the front, the bees that live here are like, haha, we have a place we can get in. We're going to go in the back. There you go, girls. More space. More space to go in. This hive over here, look at those bees. You know, I have this bad feeling like somebody's going to swarm. There's just too many bees. But anyway, I'm assuming some of these are orientation flights too. This hive right here, I saw the queen. This is only an 8-frame hive. It's something that I got from a gentleman that was getting out of beekeeping, and he had 8 frames, and I'm like, sure, I'll try that. And they're doing really good. Saw the queen in here. And then I have one sitting there, back. 2, 3 more in the back I haven't looked at. These 2 on the ground here were late swarms. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do. Have to go in and peek and see if we got eggs. Let's go look and see if we got pollen coming in. Like I said, that's a good sign. This hive is weird because they like to go in the back. There must be a hole in the screen, their screen bottom board, because they go in the back here. I don't know how they're getting in. Let's see. Do you see any pollen coming in? And it's not a bad thing if you're not seeing it just yet. It just means the queen hasn't decided to lay. So, not yet. She wants a little bit more food in her house before she lays. Let's see what this one's doing. What do you guys got? Any pollen coming in? Oh yeah, I just saw one go in with pollen. Okay, we'll check these 2. They're not using their top entrance, which is fine. Every hive is different. They're all like little science experiments, I tell people. They all have their own quirks and idiosyncrasies, and you got to kind of remember. But you can see how much mud I'm dealing with. The bad part about coming back and getting these hives is they're heavy, and you gotta watch where I'm walking, huh? I don't want to step on any dandelions. Here's another hive with a back entrance. It's just a knot hole that was there, but they pushed it out because they wanted to go in the back. Another one here where it's separating. So this hive did starve. This one did not make it. So I cleaned it up, took the dead bees out. Where did I dump the dead bees? I don't see where I dumped them. Anyways, and then for right now, I'll leave these. There's frames in those. I need to take them back and freeze them. But for today, if anybody wants to go in and see if there's anything to clean out, I'll let them do that. You are very congested here. What's the deal? What's the deal, huh? This is a piece of winter patty that was in the hive that starved to death. They just didn't get around to it. And this guy eating away. All right. And then these boxes at the end, those are what I use so I don't have to bend all the way down to the ground to take hives apart. I'll put a lid down, turn 2 deeps up or on them, and then slide these boxes over. All right. No more filming. Back to taking care of bees. Oh wait, let me show you. This is it. See that chubby guy going up there? That's a drone. When the drones, this bee's saying, get out of here. When the drones come out, that means they can swarm or I can split, because the drone's only purpose is to mate with virgin queens. So once you see drones, it's like, it's gonna get real, because that's the bees saying, all right, we can reproduce, so let's do it. One way you can keep a hive from swarming, sort of, they want to swarm, they're going to swarm. But you can add more boxes, preferably with drawn comb, so they don't feel they're out of space. One of the reasons they swarm is they think they're out of space, but they also swarm because it's a natural way of propagating their species. So it's just what bees do. And no one who has a hive that swarms should ever be shamed that they were a bad beekeeper because they didn't catch it. Bees will do what bees want to do. But if you split a hive, that is, if you see that you have queen cells and you take frames that have brood and larva and pollen and honey, and you walk away with that queen cell and take those frames, put them in a box to another part in the apiary. When that queen hatches out, goes out and gets mated and comes back, then you've kind of faked the hive out into thinking that you don't fake the hive out that way. You fake the hive out if you take the queen original to the hive out and then leave queen cells that they've made, and the queen cells hatch out. That way, if you take half the bees, half the resources and the original queen and put it someplace else in the apiary, and you gotta close them up a little bit, or it's got to be far enough away that all the foragers that you've taken don't go back to the original hive, because they have it in their brain, they know where they live. So here we have a space up front, So when I split, I take what the original queen in the frames and I take them up front, keep them in the hive for a little bit, and then when they come out, I stuff the entrance with like grass and twigs and leaves, so they have to think about it when they go out, like, ooh, where am I at? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't work, that's when I take a frame with a queen cell on it, stick it in there, and hope that that queen hatches out. It's tough. Swarms are kind of fun because they've already decided this is what they're going to do, and the original queen goes with the swarm. The original hive has queen cells ready to hatch, catch the swarm, put it in a box. It takes off like crazy. So I do both, catch swarms, because with me just being by myself doing this, I can't stay on top of it. If I had 15 hives, maybe. 60s makes it a little rough. I run out of time. I try to do 10 hives a day. And sometimes that works, sometimes it does not. All right, I'm going to go check in some hives. They seem to be doing pretty good. These guys are enjoying their treat. These other hives are busy. So, back to work.